This is the fourth segment of the Tribal Crash Data Online Tool Training Manual walkthrough. This segment begins on page 6 of the manual. Collision detail. Collisions contained in the Tribal Crash database are represented by individual circles on the base map of the online tool. You can click on an individual collision/circle to view the collision details and location. The collision details include date, time, fatality, and injury status, crash severity, alcohol involvement, pedestrian, bicycle, motorcycle, and truck involvement. The collision location detail includes primary and secondary locations, whether the location involved an intersection, an offset distance, and direction. So, looking at our map, we'll click one of these circles here, and we see here's the information that we were just promised. So, hit there. Let's move to the next step. You can pin the individual collision window to the desktop by clicking the box in the upper right corner, or close the box by clicking the X. You can change the base map to show specific detail at the crash location. So following the steps, we'll pin this to the side. And we see we can change our base map, try hybrid. And just for consistency, we'll go back to streets. Click View Details to show more collision detail, Google Map and Google Earth views of the collision location. The Google Map can be toggled from the map to satellite view. The Google Earth map allows you to view 360 degrees around the collision location. So let's hit View Details. We see some more details about the crash above. We'll go over that in a second. Here's our Google Map and our Google Earth. So you can click this rotate view. You can also hold and drag with your mouse. I'm on a Mac using a trackpad, so it's a bit harder. But for those of you using mice, it might be easier to drag it. So I'm hitting the rotate view. Gives us a look at what the crash site looks like. Well, the location of the crash, not the crash itself. So going back to the directions, the collision summary table shows the county, city, date, time, nearest intersection, latitude, and longitude coordinates, whether it was located on a state highway, state route indicator, and post-mile number. It also shows information about the victim's injuries or fatalities, alcohol involvement, weather status, primary collision factor, PCF, and other factors involved in the collision. To exit this View Details screen, click the X for the browser page. So, going up, here's the information we're just talking about, and we'll hit the X on the tab up here. All right, we're back at our original screen, moving on to the next page. Next section, View and download crash summary reports. Users can visualize the details of the mapped crashes and charts by going to the Tools menu in the upper right of the screen. We click Tools, get the drop-downs. The Tools menu provides summary reports entitled Collision/Crash Variables, Injury Trends, and Victim Summary. After choosing a summary report title, select a subtype to create a more specific report. Note that some summary reports and subtypes may not be available due to limited data for the selected tribe. The Tools menu also allows you to download the following tables from SWITRS: Collision Table, Party Table, and Victim Table. Now I'm just leaving this drop-down open, and on the next page we'll be going into each one in more detail. So bear with me if you're antsy for the details of what's going on. After clicking on the table type, a dialog box opens up that confirms your download was successful, as shown in the screenshots. A second dialog box opens to ask you how you want to handle the file. Select Save File, then OK. The file will be saved to the Downloads folder of your computer with a comma-separated value CSV file, which may be opened in Excel or other database software. You can locate the file by clicking on the downloaded file icon on your browser. So, get rid of this old window. I go into Tools, I'll click a table. You can see I clicked the table button and I got the download confirmation box. And at the bottom, you can see my download. So I'm using Google Chrome. So my download boxes look a little bit different than the screenshots, which I believe might be using Windows Explorer. It works with all, you'll get different boxes based on different web browsers. So just be familiar with your web browser and what those download boxes look like. If you're using your web browser frequently, these are boxes that you see all the time. So likely nothing new here. But just so you're aware of why the screenshots and what you're seeing on this recording are different. So I'm going to click my box, which will open up Excel. And here's all the data from that table. So moving back to where we were at, moving right along. Table that you downloaded comes from the SWITRS, which may be accessed online at the URL at the bottom of page 7. Public users may access the data online by creating a user account. There are numerous fields in the CSV file that will tell you about the specific collision reported into SWITRS, including case ID, latitude and longitude locations, crash severity, injuries, weather, and much more. The fields and the coding contained in the field may require further explanation. After selecting your date range, tribe, buffer distance from tribe, and injury level, then clicking the Get Results button, you can go to the tools and select one of the 3 summary report options: collision variables, injury trends, or victim summary. So we hit Get Results. Here's our results that we had before, and I'll zoom in just so you guys can see what's going on. Then I hit Tools. Just about ready to jump into it. Collision Variable Summary Report. The default Collision Variable Summary Report provides a bar chart showing the number and types of collisions for the date range selected. So if I click this in my drop-down, there's our bar chart. The Collision Variable Summary Report allows you to select collision variable, party variable, and victim variable. So as you see there, this drop-down, we have our 3 options. From the Select Subtype menu, you can choose type of collision, collision severity, day of the week, motor vehicle involved with, or PCF violation category. Go over to this drop-down on the upper right. Same categories. Let's see. The default party variable bar chart shows the party types: driver, pedestrian, bicyclist, and other, and the number of parties involved in the collisions during the date range. From the Select Subtype menu, you can choose party type, party sobriety, or party drug physical. So if I go to party variable, then you can see the other options are there. The default victim variable bar chart shows the victim types: passenger, driver, pedestrian, and bicyclist, and the number of victims involved in the collisions during the date range. From the Select Subtype menu, you can choose victim role, victim degree of injury, victim seating position, victim safety equipment, or victim ejected. So if we change what we're looking at, victim variable, bar chart adjusts. Here are the other options that we were discussing under the subtype. So next section, Injury Trends Summary Report. Excuse me. Ooh. The injury trends summary report shows the yearly and monthly injury trends with a moving average of the number of collisions during the selected date range. So I come out of this original chart, go down, injury trends, make a new chart. Victim summary report. This time I'll open it before I describe it to you. That way you get a better image of what's going on. Victim summary report. The victim summary report shows the gender and age of the victims in the collisions. As you can see, there's a corresponding graph on the page in the manual for the last two that we looked at. Printing summary reports. To print the chart or to download a graphic version of the chart, click on the menu button. So the menu button is this button with 3 bars here. Click on it. You can print. See, there's several different options for downloading. Okay. So, next section. Download SWITRS tables. Data reflected in the summary reports can be downloaded. When you click on the desired table, a dialog box will open asking whether to open or save the file. If you choose Open, the file will open in the selected software. If you select File, the file will be saved in the default folder, which may be accessed by clicking the down arrow icon for your browser. The downloaded file is in a comma-separated value CSV format, which may be opened using Excel or other types of database software. You can download the SWITRS collision, party, and victim data tables by clicking Tools and selecting the table. So we'll do that. Tools. Here are the tables. We did this earlier. So if I click it, Confirmation, you see now we have the Excel. We're looking good. The data field names correspond with the SWITRS database fields. That is the end of segment 4 and the end of the walkthrough for the Tribal Crash Data online tool.